Good morning, everyone. My name is Genevieve.
And I'm Maria.
Also, bevor ich euch Maria vorstelle, müssen wir ganz kurz darauf hinweisen, dass letzte Woche keine Session stattgefunden hat. Also, wir sind sicher, dass einige von euch enttäuscht waren und naja, wir hoffen, ihr versteht, dass wir aufgrund der Situation in der Ukraine aus Respekt eine Pause einlegen wollten. Also, wir hoffen, dass es euch allen gut damit zurechtkommen und dass die heutige Session mit uns etwas Ablenkung von diesen verrückten Zeiten bietet. Also, das gesagt, unser heutiger Gast ist Maria und sie arbeitet mit mir im B2B Didactics Team. Und wir freuen uns sehr, dass du heute bei uns bist, Maria. Und
Ich auch.
gut. Und ich und Maria freuen uns auch, dass ihr heute bei uns seid, auch wenn heute ein Brückentag ist. So, jetzt auf Englisch. So, Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you originally from Germany? Because I know your surname sounds German, but
Yeah, it's for those who don't know, my surname is Rechkammer, which is super German. But no, I wouldn't say I am from Germany. I would say I was born in Peru and I grew up in the US. So I would say I'm Peruvian American. But of course, it's not that simple. My great grandfather was German, so the German surname gets passed down, which is why my surname is so German sounding, because it is.
okay, cool. And so where you actually grew up, so how long were you actually in Peru? So when you were born in Peru, and how long did you spend in Peru?
I was there until I was 5, so I moved to the US when I was 5 years old.
Ah, okay. And what do you think? I mean, now, okay, Berlin is quite different, I know, but what are the biggest differences that you noticed between where you lived before Berlin?
Well, I would say that for me at least, there are so many differences, and the biggest one being public transportation.
Public
Uh, Public
transportation.
transportation.
Öffentliche Verkehrsmittel.
Genau. I grew up in North Carolina, and you had to have a car. You had to drive to school, you have to drive to the grocery store. If you don't have a car, you don't go anywhere.
I mean, it's
So
the same, like, in parts of Ireland where I'm from. If you live in the countryside, then if you don't have a car, you don't have a life.
exactly, and basically, if you're a child, you kind of have to wait around for a parent to take you places until you're 16 and you have your license and you can take yourself places. So
Yeah,
for me, it's a big difference to have public transportation, a big difference to walk, walk everywhere.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I would say that's
And how long have you been living in Berlin and using the BVG?
I have been in Berlin for a year and a half now. I moved here in fall 2020. So a year and a half, but I have been in Germany for far, far longer.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool. And you say you moved here in fall. That's so interesting because you use the word fall for that season where
Mhm.
the leaves turn beautiful colors. Can anyone remember? So the American English is fall, which describes a season. Can anyone else in the comments type in what's the British English word that we use for fall? I wonder if anyone remembers. I think Todd did this. Oh, okay. I think I see someone here. Well, Albert, Karin, Anke, so many. I'm going to show Karin. Autumn, and it's even spelled perfectly with the silent N at the end. Very good, very good. So you've been here in Berlin for a year and a half, and of course we're going to start talking about food because it's my favorite topic. What's your favorite German food?
I have so many favorites, but I will say the one that I always go to is just a good old-fashioned Laugenecke.
Laugenecke.
You have a croissant with a Laugengebäck, and it's one. It is so good.
That is, yeah, brilliant. I love it. I love it with cream cheese.
And some jam.
Okay. And another topic, of course, that we love discussing, even if we haven't been to many places recently. What is your favorite thing to do on holiday?
A favorite thing to do on a holiday. I love walking around and enjoying a new city, but I love food. And I don't think that's a surprise. I will sit down and research the best food, snacks from the place I'm going to, the cafes I need to visit, the restaurants I need to see. And I just love exploring new food on every holiday.
Yeah, I'm the very same. I'm the very same. And another thing that you can say in English, so I feel the same as Maria. I also love researching food in a new place. If you have the same opinion as someone, you can say snap. I don't know if you know this phrase. It's very simple. Snap. And I can't tell you where it originates, but there's a card game where you have to match the numbers or the suits. And once you get the same card, you have to say snap. And it means, the same. I feel the same. I think the same. You can say snap. Now, let's see if we have another snap. Do you have a favorite holiday destination, a place where you love to go on holiday?
Well, generally speaking, I love anything with the ocean, the water, the seaside. I'm there. But for winter, I love exploring new cities, going into a very urban environment where I can walk inside museums and walk inside cafes. So for me, it depends on the weather a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap. I'm the same. I'm the same. Also, Maria, wie du weißt, ist unser heutiges Thema Smalltalk. Das war auch ein bisschen Smalltalk. Es war mehr so Interview-Style, aber das war auch ein bisschen Smalltalk mit den Themen und so.
Ja.
Und jetzt kennen wir Maria ein bisschen besser. Also meine Frage für dich ist Smalltalk ein wichtiger Teil der Sprache und Kultur in Peru, in den USA?
Also, wie gesagt, ich komme aus den USA und ich würde sagen, das Smalltalk ist sehr wichtig und sehr beliebt in den USA. Smalltalk ist überall benutzt, also auf der Straße, mit der Familie, bei Fremden, mit Baristas, also eigentlich überall. Ähm, alle nutzen es. Aber viele Menschen in den USA sind auch in der Meinung, dass Smalltalk unaufrichtig sein kann. Es ist ein bisschen 50-50.
Ja, ja,
Ja.
verstehe.
Mhm.
Also, ich denke, in Irland ist Smalltalk top. Also, es ist super, super wichtig. Also, meine Mutter war am Wochenende zum Besuch und sie liebt Smalltalk. Sie liebt Smalltalk. Und jetzt fragen wir euch, unsere Zuschauer, also wie sieht es mit Smalltalk in Deutschland aus? Also, macht ihr alle Smalltalk? Also, wenn ja, also in welchen Situationen macht ihr Smalltalk? Also, ich sehe jetzt Sigrid und Karin. Okay, tschüss, schönen Tag noch. Also, ja, in Deutschland, also, wann macht man Smalltalk? Also, im S-Bahn, im U-Bahn, im BVG, Marias Lieblingsort? Oh, alle sind ein bisschen schläfrig heute.
Oder vielleicht bei der Schule, in der Arbeit,
Oder
auch
im
mit Freunden.
Ja, genau. Am Telefon, ja. Hugo am Telefon, auf jeden Fall. Ja, sometimes, ja. Auf Vernissage. Also, Bastel Andi sagt: „No small talk, please." Ja, das ist auch eine Meinung, ja. Nicht alle mögen Smalltalk. Auf Vernissage, at a vernissage, at a beginning of an exhibition. And Michael says, meeting my neighbor by chance, small talk. That is such a good one. Yeah, if you meet someone outside your door or in the stairwell, it's always small talk because someone is trying to go somewhere or to come back from somewhere. You don't always have a lot of time. You don't want to get really deep into any topic. Yeah, good, good. At work, wenn jemand zufällig auf der Straße trifft. Yeah, so if
Auch.
you if
Mhm.
you bump into someone on the street, that's also a good phrase. When you're waiting at a station, sitting on a bench, talking about oh my gosh, so many great ideas. Let me just put this here. To bump into someone, also jemand zufällig treffen, is to bump into someone. Now, this sounds like you're really going boom, but we don't mean that. But we mean like, oh, hello, I didn't expect to see you. That's to bump into someone. Okay, und Maria, hast du Erfahrungen in Deutschland mit oder woanders mit Smalltalk?
Ja, immer. Also für mich, ich finde, das ist immer der Fall, wenn ich auf einem Zug oder im Hauptbahnhof bin und es gibt eine Verspätung. Dann gibt es immer Smalltalk, also ein bisschen negatives, Smalltalk, aber no.
Auch Smalltalk, ja?
Mhm. Und, ich weiß, also für mich, eine Geschichte, die für mich immer wichtig ist, zu Thema, Smalltalk, ist, dass in der Schule ich hatte eine Lehrerin aus meiner Highschool, die aus Portugal kam und sie hat alle Smalltalk gehasst. Also, alle amerikanische Stil Smalltalk richtig gehasst. Sie hat mir immer gesagt, dass wenn Amerikaner sagen, „Hi, how are you? How's it going?" Wenn die das gefragt haben, die meinen nur „Hi" oder „Hello." Also, „Hi" und dann sie gehen immer noch auf den Weg. Und für sie, war der Smalltalk nicht ernsthaft gemeint. Also, das war nicht so: „Hi, how are you?" und ich warte hier für deine Antwort.
Ja, aber es kann auch so sein, oder? Also, es ist manchmal einfach so ein Hi. So: „Hi, how are you?"
Ja,
Aber andererseits, es könnte auch so: „Hi, how are you?" Also, erzähl mir.
genau. Und für sie hat immer gesagt, dass Leute sagen schon: „Hi, how are you?" oder „Hi, the sun's out." Und dann die gehen noch und sie hat so gestoppt und sie wollte eine kleine Konversation haben.
Ja, ja,
Ja.
okay. Und also, wie hast du Smalltalk in deinem Leben so benutzt?
Also, für mich, es war richtig, richtig wichtig, als ich Deutsch gelernt habe. Und, also, das erste Jahr, als ich nach Deutschland gekommen bin, ich, habe, mit einer Oma in meiner Haus, immer Smalltalk gehabt. Wir haben
Schön.
immer Kaffee getrunken und also sie war eine, Nachbarin von mir und, das ist, wie ich mein Deutsch verbessern habe. Also,
Hm,
das war so wichtig, und ich habe viele kleine Wörter gelernt. Ich habe, viele natürlich über ihr Leben
mhm.
gelernt und, sie hat mir meine Deutsch auch korrigiert und das war super.
Okay.
Ja, also das war ein Smalltalk, aber ein Smalltalk mit einem Deutschunterricht.
Ah, toll.
Ja.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I think those little conversations, they don't put so much pressure on you. You don't have to remember big, big words, and it's the everyday
Exactly.
things, but then you have more Selbstvertrauen, more confidence, mehr selbstbewusst to speak the language.
Yeah,
That's so important because when we're learning a new language, there is this angst, so this fear, I'll make a mistake, I'll make a mistake. And I think with your Oma experience, that's really good. I remember in my local Späti, there was a man who would give me a coffee in the Späti, and I would buy something in the morning, and I would practice my German with "It's a lovely day, schönen Tag, Sonne scheint, blah blah blah." Und das hat
yeah, and I mean, another important aspect is when you're learning a language, sometimes you learn a new way or a new grammatical, aspect or a new grammar structure, and you want to practice it,
yeah,
but you don't know how to do it. And I remember with her, I would always be able to use the past tense. And that's when I had to use the ich habe was gelernt. And
yeah,
I was really trying to, use everything. And every day I would come back from the Sprachschule and I would try to use the words I learned. I would try to use the new grammar I learned. And I also want to say that she asked me to call her Oma, so it's not me calling her an Oma. Yeah.
Oh, wie süß. And you have
Yeah.
a compliment from Michael. He says, "This small talk was worthwhile. Your German is very good, Maria." Wow.
Dankeschön.
Sehr schön. Okay, so we've already spoke about when we have used small talk, but let's really look at what is it and why should we use it, even if you don't like it?
Even if you don't like it. I mean, for me, I see small talk as a very low risk conversation about non-important subject matter. So eine Konversation mit niedrigen Risiken oder mit Themen, die nicht so wichtig sind, wie das Wetter oder Essen, Snacks.
Genau.
Yeah. So it's really just a conversation without problematic topics and with topics and themes that are universal.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Everyone likes food.
Yeah, I think everyone likes food. Food is a safe topic for sure.
Everyone likes food. People like talking about, I mean, where they're from. I also know that in the summertime, there's a lot of tourists in Berlin, especially. And I live next to a hotel. So people will come up and they will say, "What's around here?" And you can always talk about your kiez, your surroundings, the cafes around there. Everything is low risk. You're
Yeah.
not going to start talking about the big topics, religion, politics. They don't need to know that.
No, they probably don't want to. So with strangers, you can have a little conversation.
It fills silences when you're stuck at the Bahnhof and there's a Zug, that's verspätet. That is my Denglish for you guys. And everyone turns around and you're kind of waiting because you know there's a 5-minute Verspätung, and you're trying to look around and everyone starts talking. Um, so it fills the silences. And like I said, with my first example, is that there's a lot of learning purposes for it. Um,
Yeah,
like with my Oma, Nachbarn.
it's a brilliant example. And also, I taught business English for many, many years in and around Berlin. Und also in einigen Kulturen ist Smalltalk ein wesentlicher Bestandteil von Verhandlungen. Also es trägt dazu bei, Vertrauen aufzubauen und wärmt die Menschen auf, bevor sie sich in den ernsten Themen also zuwenden oder reingehen. Und ich habe so erfahren mit also 90% meine Lehrerinnen kamen aus Deutschland und sagen so: „Oh, wirklich? Müssen wir wirklich so dieses Smalltalk-Teil machen?“ Und müssen nicht, aber es hilft manchmal. Also, es hängt ab, mit welche Kulturen ihr Business macht oder verhandelt. Aber ich habe das so erlebt, so in Irland und USA ist es wirklich ein Teil von diesen Verhandlungen. Es ist keine Zeitverschwendung, es gibt ein Zeit auf dieser Agenda für diese Smalltalk aufwärmen so.
Meinst du auch, dass Smalltalk ist gleich wie Icebreakers?
Manchmal schon, ja. Ja, und wichtig für diese, Vertrauen aufzubauen. Also, wir kennen uns nicht wirklich und jetzt reden wir sofort, also, über Geld und diese ernste, Sachen. Also, lass uns ein bisschen so kennenlernen erst mal oder
Ja,
einfach so über das Wetter zu reden, das
über
reicht.
das Wetter oder ein Fakt über dein Leben, eine überraschende, Tipp oder ja, ich habe die immer bei Workshops und Seminaren und
Ja,
solche Sachen auch.
es hilft.
Mhm.
Also, wir fragen euch, ich sehe jetzt schon ein paar Kommentare, ich zeige die gleich. Also, neben dem Wetter, dem Urlaub, Essen, was sind weitere Themen? Oder also, das haben wir viel davon gesprochen, aber gibt es was oh, so Tabuthemen? Tabuthemen. Also, ich sehe erstmal, Beate sagt: „At least if there's no vegans, vegetarians, and people who eat meat or who eat only organic speak together." Okay, we had this conversation this morning already. So, food is a safe topic unless you say to a vegan, "Ooh, I love to kill animals and eat them." Maybe that would not be a very nice thing, to say. Just talking about your likes and your dislikes, I think it's usually a safe topic, yeah? And Michael Schöne sagt, "Avoid politics and religion." I think that's a really, really good advice.
Yes. I mean, especially like you said, if you're in a business setting, you're in a workshop or you're in a meeting, there's a guest speaker, and people are just trying to find out a little bit about each other or just trying to fill the silence before the lecture starts, and you start a discussion. And that's meant like those first 5-10 minutes are meant to just get to know each other, and then you have the rest of the day or the rest of the hour where it's just awkward.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so politics, religion. Yeah. I mean, you had a good example, Maria, maybe something that you shouldn't say to a woman.
To women, I was thinking about Internationale Weltfrauentag, so International Women's Day, which is tomorrow. March 8th, and I was thinking about questions you shouldn't say to women. So you shouldn't ask, when are you having kids? Do you have kids? When are you planning to have kids?
Ich denke, das
Anything,
ist so die schlimmste. Wann planen Sie, Kinder zu bekommen? Also, dass es
yeah,
so fix ist und dass es wird
genau.
passieren, aber wann? Das finde ich,
Yeah, I was thinking about these topics. Aber ich habe auch gesagt, dass wenn du ein Kind bist, du kannst überall fragen.
Ja.
Und also meine Erfahrungen mit Kindern sind, dass die fragen alle, die wollen. Eigentlich so: „Are you married? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend?"
How much money do you have in your pockets?
Exactly.
Ja,
Alle die unangenehme Fragen, ja, die
genau.
wollen die wissen, also
And also here I see Bastel. This is such a good point. Don't talk about sports if you prefer different clubs. And my husband is a big fan of Manchester City, who won a big game yesterday. But it's interesting that you say that, Bastel, because when we go traveling, when we go on holidays, he will wear his jersey, his Man City jersey, very proudly. And sometimes even people from other clubs that would be Gegner, so rivals, they have like a connection. It's like a small talk connection. We go to a bar or if we're on a beach, they will say, "Oh, Man City, no, no." And sometimes he makes friends when we go on holidays, even if they are from the opposite side or from the other team. It's often like something that sparks the small talk conversation. But it's interesting. You have to be very careful.
Michael had a very interesting take. He said in Germany, don't ask, what's your salary? And I think we're talking about small talk, but small talk is different in different cultures. So in Germany, you might not want to ask a lot about money, salary. That's what I've learned. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
And in the US, for example, that might also be something that's opened about more freely. It can also be generational. So, different generations, older people might not talk about salary, but people my age in their 20s, everyone will share their salary just so we all know what's fair. We know what we need to know. We can compare.
Yeah. No,
um,
it is so dependent on the culture.
exactly.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Okay, sind wir bereit, uns ein paar Smalltalk-Sätze anzuschauen?
Ja.
Okay, toll. This is perfect for today. Wow, the sun is finally out in Berlin. So again, these are not very complicated sentences, but if you, as an English learner, want to have a few sentences in your pocket, maybe they're the same in German, you just need to translate them. But I just think it's nice having a few of these little sentences that you can use. And again, just talking about the weather. And you could be anywhere. You could be in the doctor's, you could be on a train, you could be on an airplane, on holidays, wherever you are. It's just such a nice thing just to comment on something that you both can see, which is the sunshine. And maybe if it was not so sunny before, both of you will hopefully say, I know, it's great. And then continue the conversation. Hopefully, if you want that, if you want that.
If you're trying to practice, also, we didn't talk about this before, but the length of small talk, it's there's no hard rules, but it could be the sun's out in Berlin. "Oh, that never happens. That's crazy." And then you go on your way, and you've had
Exactly.
a nice little interaction.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
don't have to keep talking if you don't want to, that's fine, but it's just to have a connection with a human being. Now, the next sentence I have for you all is kind of the opposite of that weather sentence. It's raining cats and dogs out there.
It's raining cats and dogs.
This is a crazy sentence. I don't know. Is there a German equivalent to this? It's raining cats and dogs out there. I mean, it really just means it is raining really hard, really, really heavily.
Yeah, it's pouring.
It's pouring.
It's pouring rain, raining cats and dogs.
I see Basta says it's annoying if you have to do this 10 times a day. Okay, I love talking, but Bastel, I agree. If to do this with 10 people, with 20 people, I completely agree. But maybe you could have some fun with it. Maybe you could think of a different sentence for each of the people, especially if it's in English, then you're always learning. Okay, I see Karen says, Sauwetter. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Beate says, es regnet Bindfäden. Because
Yeah,
okay. Interesting. It's raining cats and dogs. Es schüttet aus Eimern. Wow, you have so many. So I see when who said it? Yeah, Blümchenstrahl said Germans like to chatter about the weather. I think so. If you have so many phrases for it, then that is probably true. Okay, and then we've got another phrase for you. Now, this again, we're still talking about the weather, but I want to ask you, what do you think this means, everyone? So, if I say, wow, it's scorching out there, am I talking about it being cold or being hot? Does anyone know? If I say, wow, it's scorching out there, is that hot or cold? Affenhitze, Albert says. Yes, very good. It's scorching out there. Really good. Okay, let's move on to some more. So, Maria, the next one is for you. Maybe if you're on holiday.
yeah. That's exactly what I was saying this question. So, where are you staying when you're in town? Is a great conversation starter because it's you're not asking that person for their personal address. Like, where do you live? Can sometimes be a bit too personal. But where are you staying when you're in town is great because you can say, hey, I'm staying in Prenzlauberg or I'm staying in this part of the city. And then you can chat about what you can do around that part, how you can get to maybe different parts of the city, your favorite cafes, your favorite spots
Exactly.
around that area. So
Yeah.
it's great. Mhm. This next one, have you been here before, or is this your first time in Dubai or in another city? That's like I said, I live next to a hotel, and sometimes you have to make small talk because there's a cafe in between me and the hotel. So sometimes I go into the cafe and there's people there, and I do ask, "Have you been here before? Is this your first time in Berlin?" And then they say yes or no, and with either answer, there's a lot to talk about.
I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
And the next one, I mean, I just love this. This is probably very good for this year because we don't know if we can go anywhere. So are you planning a vacation or a staycation this summer? Now, I wonder
Staycation.
if you can remember what staycation means. Anyone remember what staycation means? We had that a few weeks ago with Maren and I were talking about different words like motel, staycation. We had mocktail was another one.
Staycation for me is now very connected to the pandemic and Corona.
Yeah. And I think the German translation is Balkonien. So staycation is a vacation where you stay. So you don't really go anywhere. I mean, I think now sometimes people use staycation when they mean you're staying in your own country, where I think the original meaning was that you would stay in your home or in your
Mhm.
garden or on your balcony. But staycation is Gartensia. Ulis.
Hortensia, das ist das erste Mal, dass ich das Wort höre.
Also see Heimurlaub, Urlaub daheim. Yeah, all brilliant, all brilliant. Okay, and then let's just move through a few more. Another one, do you like eating out? So again, we're talking about food, but do you like eating out? I know some people really like to eat in restaurants a lot when they are on holidays or when they're on their staycation, and other people like to cook for themselves. I think for me, if I'm eating out every day on holiday, I get a bit tired. I want to have my own kitchen and to cook for myself. That's my personal opinion. But do you like eating out? And remember, do you like eating out? But you can also have, do you like to eat out? So either the continuous form there or the infinitive. And then this one I think we should have for you, Maria. This
Yes,
is definitely an offer to
this is
someone.
an offer. So this says, do you want to grab a bite to eat? Do you want to grab a bite to eat? And this is the most relaxed, but also the best question people can ask me because my answer is always yes. And there's so many things happening here. So, wanna, have you guys talked about that word?
We had gonna. Are you gonna do something? I can't
So,
remember if we had wanna.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The formal sentence would be, do you want to grab a bite to eat? Um, and wanna is just, for me, it's so much better, easier, more relaxed, less pressure. That word has so much meaning.
Yes.
Want to.
And it just rolls off the tongue. Do you want to grab a bite to eat? Do you want to grab a bite to eat? And Anka has put here, yes, wanna is the same as want to in spoken English. And it's very natural for American English, I think, more than in other
Yeah.
Englishes.
Yeah, and the more relaxed people are with each other, so this is even if it's small talk between friends.
Yeah.
So the sun is shining. Do you want to grab a bite to eat?
Yeah.
Easy.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, right. Let's go very quickly through some tips, just some small talk tips, probably the same in German, but let's talk about them really quickly, and then we'll have a quick quiz about some of the phrases that we learned, okay? So, first tip. Also, gib den Leuten eine Chance zu zeigen, was sie wissen. Also, wenn du weißt, dass jemand ein Experte in einem Thema ist, dann bitte sie, dir mehr darüber zu erzählen. Also, das ist einfach für sie und interessant für euch oder für dich. Because if you don't like small talk, and I understand that, but if you ask someone a question about something that they know a lot about, or maybe just about where they come from, their home, you can just sit back and relax and you can learn something. It might be really, really interesting. Okay, tip number 2.
Tip number 2. So you have to or want to ask for people's advice. So Meinungen und Ratschläge bitten. Wenn ihr ein Problem, so ein nicht persönliches Problem, Herausforderung habt, könnt ihr Hilfe bitten. I would ask someone for advice on where do I buy a baby gift? I have a friend who's having a baby. Where can I get something that they would like?
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas for a good work lunch? I'm out of ideas. I don't know this area. I don't know the restaurants. I don't want to eat any more sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are bored, when it's langweilig, if you feel uncomfortable with the topic, Themawechsel and little phrases that you can use, you can say, anyway, what about this weather we're having? Or, so, tell me, where are you from again? And you can also say, oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you. So all of these little phrases, they can change the subject if you don't like it or you don't think it's interesting. Okay, fourth tip.
Tip 4, active listening oder aktives Zuhören. Vergiss nicht zu sagen, dass du zuhörst und dich auf das Gespräch einlässt. Verwendet Phrasen wie "Oh, really?" oder okay. Oder "No way." No way.
Yay.
No way. Totally. Oder aha, that's right. Mhm.
Exactly. And then the fifth tip is use open questions. Verwendet offene Fragen. Ja, wenn du Fragen stellst, ist es gut, offene Fragen zu stellen und keine geschlossene Fragen. Also was ist der Unterschied? Eine geschlossene Frage erwartet ein Ja oder Nein Antwort, aber eine offene Frage erwartet eine also frei formulierte Antwort. Also schauen wir uns 2 Beispiele an. Also wir haben Do you like cheese? Or what's your favorite type of cheese? So do you like cheese, Maria?
I'm okay with cheese.
Just say, not really.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think we still have time for some quiz questions. So Maria, I'll ask you to read the first one. So in these questions, we would like you to tell us what's missing from the gap. Okay, so the very first one. Oh, I nearly gave you the
Yeah.
answer. Oh, that was so close. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Whew.
The first one is it's raining cats and blank out there.
What's missing?
That's right.
That was an easy one to start
An
with.
easy one. The dogs.
Yeah, not pigs. Sauwetter. Ha. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Okay, so the next one is, do you grab a bite to eat? Do you like grab a bite to eat? Do you want to grab a bite to eat? Or do you gonna grab a bite to eat? That's a Zungenbrecher, tongue twister. Okay. I think everyone is guessing B, and you're correct. Do you wanna grab a bite to eat? Very, very good. Okay, next one is yours, Maria.
Yes. So wow, it's out there. It's blank out there.
Now, this is when we were talking about it being Affenhitze, so really, really hot. Did we say scary, scorching, or scorecard?
Yes, it is scorching out there.
Excellent. Yeah, it's
Very hot.
Yeah. Yeah, not yet. Not today. It looks really, really nice, but it's not that nice out there. Okay, next one. So blank you been here before? Blank, you been here before? Have you been here before? Do you been here before? Are you been here before? What is missing from that gap? Okay, we have lots of A's. Yes, this is the present perfect. Have you been here before? Wow, you were all listening very, very closely. Okay, we just have two more.
Mhm. So this one is, do you like blank out?
So see if you remember. And this is what I said about this construction. Do you like eating out? Yes. So you could have eat, but you would need the infinitive to. So do you like to eat out, or do you like eating out? Was the ing form. And the last one. And this is really a question for you, Maria. Let me just make sure I didn't put in the answer this time. Maria, are you planning a vacation or a this year? So is it a stay holiday, a staycation, or a stay away?
A stay away. I personally am planning a vacation.
A
I
vacation.
am leaving Germany
Okay. Yeah,
for
me
holidays.
too. So the correct answer, I think everyone got it, is staycation. Gartensia was?
Yeah.
Or Balkonen, Heimurlaub. Excellent. Okay. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That was really good, everybody. And I'm going to post the feedback form. Please, 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 any comments, any feedback, any topics that you would like us to talk about, we would appreciate it. And Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had fun.
I did have fun. Thank you for having me. I love talking about talking.
And we hope to have you back again soon. Next week, it will be a surprise. Maybe it'll be me, Maren, Todd, Karina, Maria. Yeah, we will see. It will be a surprise. So I hope you all have a really, really nice, sunny Monday and take care and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.